Inanna is the ancient Sumerian goddess of love, sensuality, fertility, procreation, and also of war. She later became identified by the Akkadians and the Assyrians as the goddess Ishtar, and later further with the Hittites, Suska, the Phoenicians, Astarte, and the Greeks, Aphrodite, among many others. She was also seen as the bright star of the morning and evening Venus, and identified with the Roman goddess. Inanna is one of the candidates cited as the subject of the Burnley relief, better known as the Queen of the Night, a terracotta relief dating from the region of Hammurabi of Babylon, between 1792 and 1750 BCE. In some myths, she is the daughter of Enki and the god of wisdom. Through the work of the Akkadian poet and high priestess Enheduanna, daughter of Sargon of Akkad, between 2334 and 2279 BCE, Inanna was notably identified with Ishtar and rose in prominence from a local vegetative deity of the Sumerian people to the Queen of Heaven and the most popular goddess in all of Mesopotamia. The historian Gwendolyn Lake follows. Inanna was the foremost Sumerian goddess, patron deity of Uruk. Her name was written with a sign that represents a reed stalk tied into a loop at the top. This appears in the very earliest written text from the mid-4th millennium BC. She is also mentioned in the early gods list among the 4 main deities, along with Anu, Enki and Enlil in the royal inscriptions of the early dynastic period. Inanna is often invoked as the special protectress of kings. Sargon of Akkad claimed her support in battle and in politics. It appears that it was during the 3rd millennium that the goddess acquired material aspects that may derive from a syncretism with the Semitic deity Ishtar. Inanna's main sanctuary was the Ina, House of Heaven at Uruk, although she had temples or chapels in most cities. The goddess appears in many ancient Mesopotamian myths, most notably Inanna and the Hulupu tree, an early creation myth, Inanna and the god of wisdom, in which she brings knowledge and culture to the city of Uruk after receiving the gifts from the god of wisdom Enki while he is drunk, the courtship of Inanna and Dumuzi, the tale of Inanna's marriage to the vegetation god, the best known poem, The Descent of Inanna, which is a 1900 to 1600 BCE poem in which the Queen of Heaven journeys to the underworld. Besides these works and short hymns to Inanna, she is also known through the longer, more intricate hymns written by Enheduanna in honour of her personal goddess and patroness of Uruk. Inasigirara, Ninimisara and Inaminuhesa, which translates as the great-hearted mistress, the exaltation of Inanna, and the goddess of the fearsome power. All 3 powerful hymns which influenced generations of Mesopotamians in their understanding of the goddess and elevated her status from local to supreme deity. Her personal ambition is attested in a number of works which feature her. The ambition can also be seen through her manipulation of Gilgamesh in the tale of the Hulupu tree. When she cannot handle the problem of the pest which infests the tree and fails to find help from her brother Utu, otherwise known as Shamash, she attracts the attention of Gilgamesh, who takes care of the situation for her. Still, her intentions in the story are true. She only wants to cultivate the tree in order to harvest the wood, and cannot handle the serious and threatening pests which make this tree their home. Her gift of the sacred drum and drumsticks to Gilgamesh for helping her eventually result in Enkidu's journey to the underworld to retrieve them, and the fascinating revelations his spirit brings back to Gilgamesh. In the Mesopotamian pantheon, Inanna's genealogy varies with the era of myth and tale told. She is the daughter of the supreme god Anu, but also is depicted as the daughter of the moon god Nana and his consort Ningal. Alternatively, she is the daughter of the god of wisdom Enki and sister of Ereshkigal, goddess of the underworld, twin sister of the sun god Utu, otherwise known as Shamash, and sister of Ishkur, also known as Adad, god of storms. She is also sometimes referenced as the daughter of the supreme god of air, Enlil. Her temple at Uruk was her central cult centre, but throughout Mesopotamia her temples and shrines were numerous, and sacred prostitutes of both genders may have been employed to ensure the fertility of the earth and the continued prosperity of the communities. Inanna continued as a powerful and popular goddess until the decline and prestige of the female deity during the reign of Hammurabi, which, according to the scholar Samuel Noah Kramer, coincides with women's loss of status and rights in society. Still, as Ishtar of the Assyrians, she continued to be widely venerated and inspired the visions of similar deities in other cultures of the Near East and far beyond. The fact that the Sumerians could conceive of such a goddess speaks to their cultural value and understanding of femininity. In Sumerian culture, women were regarded as equals. Even a cursory survey of their pantheon shows a number of significant female deities such as Gula, Ninasag, Nisaba, and Ninkasi, among many others. In time, however, these goddesses lost status to male deities. Under the reign of the Amorite king, King Hammurabi of Babylon, 1792 to 1750 BCE, goddesses were increasingly replaced by gods. Inanna kept her position and prestige throughout her adoption by the Assyrian and Neo-Assyrian Empire as Ishtar, goddess of war and sex. But many others did not fare so well. Nisaba, formerly of the scribe of the gods and patroness of the written word, was assimilated into the god Nabu under Hammurabi's reign, and this was the fate of many others. Inanna endured, however, because she was so accessible and recognisable. Women and men both could relate to this goddess, and it was no coincidence that both sexes served her as priests, temple servants, and sacred prostitutes. Inanna made people want to serve her because of who she was and not what she had to offer, and her devotees remained faithful to her long after worship in her temples had ceased. She was closely associated with the morning and the evening star. Even up to the present day, she continues to be, even if few people remember her name.